What's the best electric vehicle company in the world of Pokemon? Jolt, because it's the original Eevee. Bike Chain Starters, episode 29, Eevee. What's going on? I'm PokeWelder Zach, and today we're making Eevee out of bike chains. Before we get started, when this video has 1,000 likes, I'll be doing a giveaway to one person from the comment section below. So, what did you think about the intro joke? Do you have a better one, or do you just like Eevee? This is the last video for the Bike Chain Starter series. I've been working on this for over a year now. I love how it's turned out, and it's kind of crazy that I've finally gotten to the last video. So, with all that, we're going to go ahead and jump into it. Alright, time to break up some chains and make ourselves an Eevee. So for the head, we're going to be using 2 6s and 2 4s for the main part. The body is going to be made up of 2 4 links with 4 singles for the legs. And then the tail is going to be made up of a 6 and 2 4s. As well, we have 2 4s that are going to be used for the ears and a 3 link that's going to be used for the chest piece with some additional flat pieces. To start off, everything is shaped up here, tip top, and so we're going to quickly go through and just tack everything so that we can clean it up and start putting it together. Using that 3 link down on the left side is a little bit of a different piece than I'm used to if you've been following along. Because of how it is shaped, I do have to kind of squeeze it and add an additional tack there to keep it together. To start with the head, we're going to stack those 2 6 links in the middle there. Do a quick little tack on all the different sides, and then add the one of those 4 links on top, flip it, and add another 4 link on the bottom to shape up the main part of the head. And I started welding these on the flatter. Oh, hey, there's an Eevee. Look at that. Oh, just sliding down as we attach the ears. Okay, I see you there. For the tail here, we're going to add the, for the body is on the left, the tail's on the right. That body, quick tacks, stack and tack, and same with the tail. This is kind of like a streamlined process as I kind of developed it while I was working on this whole series. Kind of figured out that getting all the pieces together early on made it a lot cleaner of a video. So here I'm pretty much just putting all the different pieces together now. We're tacking on the head and then that chest piece, which will make up the front part of Eevee's fluff. And now we're going to be adding the tail on. So again, he's got a nice big fluffy tail, and I'm just kind of welding on all around it so it doesn't fall off. Pretty quick, pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory on that one. Now we're going to take the 4 legs to tack them on. They do seem kind of low here in comparison to some of the other sculptures I do. That's because I have to add on a whole bunch of flat links to make up the rest of Eevee's fluff. And if I put those legs too high up, then it just gets a little bit wild. So I tried to find a good angle to attach these flat links. It was a little bit difficult to do, so apologies for that. But essentially what I'm doing here is just taking a whole bunch of flat links and welding them onto the sides and then behind the head as well to make up all of Eevee's fluff. This is something I played around with a couple different designs for. And this is what I came up with that I think has worked fairly well, but I still might experiment that with some new versions in the future. So we're just adding those, again, just kind of like stacking them until it looks good enough on the fluff side. Good enough fluff. Then we take the angle grinder, grind down all those bigger welds, make sure to get the slag off, and just generally clean it up to get our final raw chain form for Eevee here. Quick interruption, this is the last video in the Bike Chain Starter series. So if you've been enjoying this content and you want to support the channel, consider checking out Patreon in the link in the description below. Over there, I do announcements, Pokemon of the Month, early releases, and much more. So again, if you've been enjoying this content, consider going and checking it out. It means a lot to me, helps support the channel, and I want to give a big thank you to my current patrons and my future patrons. So with all that, let's get back to the video. Kicking off with the paint, we're going to have a brown base coat and then adding those sort of finer details on with an acrylic paint brush, or acrylic paint and paintbrush. The main part of the sort of finer details are going to be the insides or the fronts of the ears, which are just going to be a darker brown. This paint was getting a little bit old, unfortunately, so it was a little clumpy, so it was a little bit harder to paint on there, which is why this process isn't quite as smooth as it usually is, but we still made it work. And then finally, using a beige to get the tip of the tail, and we'll also be using that for all of Eevee's fluff. Again, just making sure to get in the sort of cracks and crevices, make sure to get all those different faces on, and it is just the tip, just the tip of the tail. Don't worry about that. Yeah, top, bottom, pretty much all around, just trying to get all those little details there, and then moving over to Eevee's main fluff on the body. Making sure, again, with that front piece there, to get between all the different cracks and crevices. The sides were pretty easy to paint overall, but it was a little bit tricky trying to get in between them without getting paint on other things, but it ended up working out pretty well. I think that, again, this design for the fluff is okay, but I think it could use some work. I just don't 100% sure know what I want to do with it yet. So I might end up tweaking that just a little bit for any final designs. And again, just making sure it wraps around and getting the paint for the back part of the fluff as well. And that is going to be our final form for Eevee, from raw chains up to its final painted bike chain Eevee. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I hope you enjoyed watching Eevee come to life. Again, when we hit 1,000 likes, I'll be doing a giveaway to one person from the comment section below. So leave your comments, what you think about the video, and now that we're done with the starter series, what Pokemon do you want to see next? I've got a backlog of projects for my live stream, so expect some new non-starter content coming out in the next few weeks. And with all that, we are done with the Bike Chain starter series, on to new projects, on to new goals. Thanks everyone for sticking around. If you've been here for the whole series, thank you for support. If you haven't, consider going back, checking out those old videos too. And either way, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you know when the next projects and next videos come out. So, until then, signing off with a Totodile smile.